Jesus Freak here, and it's been 502 years since this watershed moment in the church history. And well, honestly, it wasn't the clean break. It probably should have been. Because let's be honest here. It took a few years. Luther didn't so much leave the Church of Rome as he was tossed out a few years later on account of what he published on this day 502 years ago. Now, let me reiterate that I am no fan of the Church of Rome. I think they're hopelessly corrupt. And any group, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, Catholics, who tries to place their traditions or the teachings that they've come up with on an equal footing with Scripture. And yes, that includes some Methodists. That's a heresy. Nothing belongs on equal footing with this. Anyway, I guess the big thing I see these days is a sort of attempt at ecumenicism that seems to be driven by the Church of Rome. Like, why do you want to affiliate with the Church of Rome? They're not just heretics, they're heresiarchs. I mean, if you want to affiliate with other like-minded believers, as I believe the one holy apostolic church is the body of spirit-filled Christians around the world and through time, and that's Protestant, to put it in a single word. Or maybe evangelical is probably a better word to use. Evangelical means of the gospel. I see the point, you try to find other Christians to try to reunify the church. Why do you want to reaffiliate with the Church of Rome? Why do you want to reaffiliate with the Eastern churches as Orthodox churches? We know they're not Orthodox, they're heterodox. Why do you want to do that? But trying to, unify the rest of us under the banner of the cross and under the banner of the Gospels, the direction I feel that, for example, the Methodists should be heading in. I use this example, the Methodists, because it's the church I come from. But we should be heading in a more evangelical direction. We should be headed more towards a missionary direction. We should be headed more towards a direction of believers only baptism. I think a lot of the early churches of the Reformation, especially in the UK and by extension America, they didn't go far enough. They didn't throw out child baptism, infant baptism, and some of them opened the practice of communion a bit too wide. This is typical. United Methodist Church practices full open communion. Episcopal Church does the same. And I say, if there's certain rules that even if a church preaches open communion, they offer me communion, sometimes I'll refuse it because I believe that it would be disrespectful to them as well as to God. Unlike some people, I have standards. Where do my standards ultimately come from? Well, they come from here. And that should be where they come from. And that was the whole point of the Reformation. Luther didn't take it far enough, honestly. Neither did the Presbyterians and the Episcopalians in England. But it was a start. You got to start somewhere. And nailing a bunch of grievances as to the door of a cathedral in Germany, I think, pretty nutsy and pretty daring. Certainly as good a place to mark our start as any. And that was 502 years ago today as I post this. Jesus freak out.